Of course, as we all know, Sword and Shield split fans among the middle, and that basically means the game is controversial. Well, 2 years ago, The Last Jedi came out, and The Last Jedi split fans across the middle. Sword and Shield is easily the most controversial game of the year. Put aside those games that were put aside that one game that was released on Steam, and you have the most and Pokemon Sword and Shield is easily the most controversial game by the fans. Of course, by the media. Certain other games are more controversial than Sword and Shield. But Sword and Shield is what happens when you split the fan base in two. You have the Pokemon defenders, or I have a new name for them, the Poke Sales, who will sell for Sword and Shield no matter what they do, who will continue to defend Game Freak's lazy decisions for making all the games like Pokemon Go. Like, I do appreciate some things in Sword and Shield, like being able to go against Pokemon in the open world. Well, Pokemon games have been open world since the olden days. X and Y was even considered open world. So you had a linear path, but you can always revisit every area in Pokemon Sword and X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Heck, I can even call Pokemon Red and Blue open world. But Sword and Shield is easily a very lazy game. You go out, Pokemon Sword and Shield's graphics are bad. Okay, they're rapidly bad. Let's look at the comparisons between Ocarina of Time, an N64 game, or Pokemon's or Pokemon. Is it called Pokemon Stadium for the N64, the one that everybody has nostalgia for, and compared to Sword and Shield's graphics? Well, Pokemon Stadium has better animations than Pokemon Sword and Shield. But, and then we have the whole National Pokédex thing, and how Game Freak continues to double down on it. Because they know if they put out a piece of garbage at once, if they put out the if they put out a piece of trash at once and have named Pokemon, parents will still buy them for their kids because it has Pokemon on it. Well, if I were my parent, I would advise you not to get these games and just get one of the older games instead for the 3DS. Because it's not really worth buying Pokemon Sword and Shield. And especially when you're paying $60. $20 more than the other two games, and all the 3DS games combined. $20 more for crap. Like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. That's and then but there's other games you can get on the Switch for your kids if you don't have a Switch yet. Of course, you could easily just get Mario Odyssey. But maybe Pokemon could learn from Star Wars and how it already divided the franchise. Let's look at how poorly Pokemon Sword and Shield sold past the holidays. At the holidays, the game sold 10 million copies. Well, by May of 2019? But by March, it only sold for 640,000 copies, both retail and digital, for both versions. And you're telling me that Pokemon is not a dying franchise. Pokemon as a search term is becoming more popular, but that's probably because Detective Pikachu just came out. Yes, that game came out. But there's many other games you can get for your Nintendo Switch. Pokemon's not the only one. And I guess if people really like Pokemon Sword and Shield that much, they would be in the top 10. Well, when Fire Emblem is still in the top 10, but not Pokemon, you have a real problem there. And Zelda is even in the top 10 still, but not Pokemon. Especially when Nintendo has many other games out as well, like Mario Maker 2, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Smash Bros., Link's Awakening that's coming out, Mario Bros. Deluxe, Minecraft, and so many other games you can get for your kids. So that argument is basically invalid. Or even or even if you want to give your kids a harder game, or give them like Sonic Forces, or give them not the Mario game like Sonic Forces, or Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. There's so many more games than Pokemon out there. There's also Yoshi's Crafted World that exists. There's the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy, the Spyro Trilogy, Mario Odyssey, of course. That game exists. All those games are probably and even Civilization number 6. which can teach you about the history of the world, or Mario Party, or other games. So, in terms of similar games and age rating to Pokemon E to E10 plus, there's other games that already exist on there, like Pokemon, Zelda, Smash Bros., and various others. You don't have to buy Pokemon for your kid. Okay, now that argument is out of the way, now let's see what the terrible effect of dividing a fan base brings you. Well, what Star Wars movie came after Solo? No, not Solo, The Last Jedi. Well, Solo, a Star Wars story. And Solo, a Star Wars story is the first Star Wars movie ever in the history of the planet, or the history of the series, to flop. It made, let's see how much Star Wars story made. 392.9 million on top of a budget of 275 million at the low. No, 250 million at the low. And 300 million at the high. So, and Solo was originally supposed to make $700 million. But because The Last Jedi was so bad, and that's basically it. Solo is dead, and nobody cares about Star Wars Episode 9. No one visits Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and of course, nobody cares about the new Star Wars movies coming out. Pokemon could easily head towards that. If a mega franchise like Star Wars can flop, so can Pokemon. Both franchises can flop. MCU can flop at some point. Pokemon can flop at some point. If you intentionally piss off the fans on purpose, like like the National Pokédex thing is way bigger than the Battle Frontier. Only people who played Gen 3 really remember Battle Frontier. Most people who grew up playing Diamond and Pearl do not know what the Battle Frontier is. So that is kind of more of a smaller uproar compared to the National Dex. Okay? What happens when the company is lazy and just pushes out products just for the money? That's what Pokemon Sword and Shield really is. It's a cash grab. They're making the game. Every other Switch game has always tried to improve. Let's look at the best Switch games. Every Switch game, let's look at 2013 on the Switch. Zelda Breath of the Wild was a massive improvement over the last Zelda game, Skyward Sword. Mario Odyssey was definitely a massive improvement over 3D World. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is just Mario Kart 8. Splatoon 2, massive improvement over Splatoon 1. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I haven't played that and I never will. Well, I'm looking at Nintendo games, not Celeste and Fortnite. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, massive improvement over Xenoblade 1. You can kind of argue that one. ARMS, a new IP that had a lot of heart put into it. Yoshi's Crafted World, basically more the same as Yoshi's Woolly World. That's a Wii U port. But you get what I'm saying here. But then we have Pokemon Sword and Shield refusing to innovate. Mario Maker 2 and Kirby Star Allies. Star Allies is more of the same, but Mario Maker 2 is definitely much better than Mario Maker 1. So, NX Force must not forget about Smash Ultimate, being easily regarded by the Smash fanbase as the best Smash game ever made. Even proving to Melee fans that, Melee Smash Ultimate is made better than our Melee. But Pokemon Sword and Shield refuses to innovate. It's the same freaking game. Okay, it's the same game, and the only new thing is of course, besides the new Pokemon, is the most dumbest feature in all of Pokemon, Dynamax. A feature that nobody wanted, and a feature that is basically part of the reason why Game Freak will not put a National Dex. Because you know what? We have to have such a stupid garbage feature in our Pokemon games that nobody wanted. And that's basically about Dynamax. It's a garbage feature, and it's just a pointless gimmick that will probably be around for one game. And that's basically about Dynamax. Nobody cares about it. The fact that you can't transfer all of your legendaries to the next game, thus to compare all your competitively bred Pokemon, is alarming. because there's lots of people who spend all the signees. Because people actually spend time getting these signees. Because some people spend years making videos on how to get signees. People make YouTube videos about reacting to signees or competitive battling, and people want all those Pokemon in the newer games. They see them in the glorious HD, but they won't be able to because Game Freak does not care. And basically, what I mean by splitting the fan base in the middle, well, there are still apologists and defenders who will defend Game Freak to the very last nail. And that's basically more about Sword and Shield. It's nothing but a disappointment, and this is what Sword and Shield can learn from Star Wars. I have a feel that Pokemon has already gone down the same path, and Sword and Shield will be the most hated Pokemon game ever made. Oh wait, it already is.